I bet you didn't know that while you were at home relaxing, you were already home on a Sunday evening having fun with your family. This pastor's wife and her kids were still in church till around 4 p.m. This video is just a glimpse into a typical Sunday evening in the life of a pastor's wife. After church service on Sundays, most of the time we end up waiting for our daddy to finish counseling and any other thing he's doing, meetings, before we go home. Of course, I have some of things I have to catch up with too as a pastor's wife. Now, today we waited for our daddy till about 3:30 p.m. We were so tired, I had not cooked, and I remembered I had not made my daughter's hair. So I picked my kids up and we left with a mindset that I will come back and pick my husband later. So I dropped my daughter off at the salon, went home with the boys and started cooking. Of course, I didn't even have time to change because I knew I had to go out again to pick my daughter, and I also was waiting for my husband's call to go back to church and pick him up because we went to church with one car today. When we got into the house, the first thing on my mind was, let me just put something in my tummy because I was very hungry. I had to take a cup of smoothie, a frozen smoothie to eat. In fact, everybody was just busy looking for something to put in their belly. Everybody was really hungry. My first son quickly went to his laptop and started trying to copy his note that he hadn't copied because tomorrow is school and he needed to submit his note tomorrow, and now school stuff. So he quickly got to work immediately. My second son, the same. Everybody was just trying to meet up with what they had not finished on Saturday. My second son was like, "Mommy, is the food not ready?" He just kept asking, "Is the food not ready? Is the food not ready?" Then he decided to help himself out with bread. He made something, just buttered up some bread and ate while Nosa was busy having fun. Children will always be children. Wetin concern Nosa? Nosa was busy having fun, playing around while still telling me, "Mommy, I'm hungry." And I said, "Okay, you know what? Take smoothie with me." He did. It was just quite helpful though. That's what happens with these children. After some time, they get used to it and they try to be also helpful and understanding with the situation. It just becomes a norm. On a normal day, we go for house fellowship. When we're able to come in early, we try to go for house fellowship, but today we came in very late. We couldn't meet up for house fellowship, so we ended up, and then we had a lot of things. Everybody had something they were battling with or they had to finish up, so everybody just faced their issues squarely while I would try to make food before my husband comes home, because I know he would have been exhausted and very hungry, and the kids were all exhausted and hungry. Normally, I don't make my stews on Sunday because of this, because I know most of the time we'll come back late. So I make my stews on Saturday evening, pack them up, and then on Sunday I just cook right. But even at Sunday, I am just cooking right. Look at how long it is taking for the food to get, because the rice has to be done. I'm telling you. Then I realized that there was no plantain in the house. And everybody loves to eat rice and plantain on Sundays. And then I said, okay, you know what? I'll buy the plantain when I go to pick my daughter up. So I started calling the hairdressers. Alpha, you people done? What's going on? Is she ready? They're like, yes, ma, we are done. No. I said, thank God. Prior to that, I'd actually even gone out to pick her daddy and bring him back. Then I called them for my daughter. Then I went out to pick her. Got myself the plantain that I needed. We went home. Nobody really tells you about some of the sacrifices you have to pay as a pastor's wife. You end up discovering it for yourself when you're in there. But the truth is, if you do not have a heart for God, a sincere heart to pursue after God for yourself, you'll get tired, you'll get weary, you'll feel like it's a burden. And every time you go to church, you feel like you're being cheated. You feel like, your life is being stolen from you. You complain. But when your fire matches your husband, so when you actually have a zeal to serve God, you have a zeal to, pursue after the master, it will be easier for you. So you need to find that balance where you are. You have to find that balance where you have your personal walk with God, so that when you're doing this, you're doing it with joy. Yes, it can be very inconveniencing and stressful, But when you do it for God, you do it with joy, knowing that there is a reason why you're going through all this, you're sacrificing all this. Imagine sacrificing your Sundays. Even sometimes your weekend, Saturday, mostly for evangelism, is not easy. I'm telling you, some people are there from Friday, even Saturday, Sunday, they are there working. When other people are enjoying their weekends, you're out there. You're out there. You're out there. You're engaged. You have one meeting or the other. You have one counseling. You have one. It's not really easy. It's sacrificial. It's something that if you do not condition your mind, if you do not make up your mind that you are serving God, it can be easy to murmur. It can be easy for you to complain, you know. Anyway, back to my story. So I went out, picked my daughter, we bought the plantain that we needed. Then I came home, then I started frying the plantain, and my dear, by then it was already getting dark. I'm telling you, it was about past 6 or 7. Yeah, that was when the food was getting ready. In fact, my second son had already eaten before I even came back home. My first son was already dishing his own food and his younger brother's food. And I asked them, are you guys not waiting for the plantain? They said, please, mom, they are famished. Later, when your plantain is ready, we'll eat. I said, okay. No, so I even spilled the food on the ground. I was like, oh, God, it is well. I was exhausted at this point in time. If you're a pastor's wife, have you experienced this, or a pastor's child? Have you ever experienced this? How are you going through it? Or is it only my family and I that are going through this? Let me hear it in the comment section. See, if you're a wig gang mama and you're able to pull your wig at the end of the day, you don't know what God has done for you. Praise God in the mountaintop. Praise God in the valley, because now you win finally. I've pulled my wig, people of God. All that is remaining is for me to have a warm bath and off to sleep. Thank you for watching my video. See you in my next video. Bye.